Hey guys, Jack here, and here is the marketing training section of the whole training process that we're giving and all the value that we're giving out for you. This is going to be the marketing section. This is for beginners, for people who have had a bit of experience, and some people who want to hear a different perspective and different strategies too. And this is the strategy that we used to do over £500,000 in sales last year on our store, spending over £100,000 on Facebook ads. And this is going to be going through the marketing in terms of, do you have any budget? Do you need to go towards organic, or do you need to go towards paid with platforms such as Facebook and TikTok? Let's get straight into it. I'm going to be following this presentation. It's not a pretty presentation. It's straight to the point. There's no fluff. It's just, let's get straight into it and let's get learning straight away so you can get onto your store, get making them ads, get marketing your store and getting them sales. I'm not going to make it look pretty or anything. This is literally it. It's all about the content. It's all about what's in it. So, introduction to marketing. Marketing, first of all, is how you're actually getting your store out there. Imagine you make a store. It's online. It's on Google, and no one's coming to your store. That's because you're not putting it out there for people to see, for people to click on, for people to engage with, and ultimately for people to purchase with you. That's the goal of marketing. Put it in front of your target audience and get them to buy. It's vital for success. If we didn't do any marketing last year, we would have had £0 in sales instead of that 500,000. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, but that's just the reality of it. There is some people there that will get a store and will just expect sales. That's not it. But through these processes, hopefully you should be able to get things working. And without marketing, you have no chance. Let me actually click the button to move on. There we go. So as I mentioned before, there's organic versus paid. Organic marketing means it's no paid traffic. You're not putting any money in to actually advertise on any sort of platform. It includes social media posts and SEO. The most common form of social media posts is TikTok organic and Instagram Reels, and these are places that you can post content of your product, have a link in your bio, and get people to purchase. SEO is in there too. We don't get too involved in SEO. That's something that takes months and even years to get up in the rankings in Google. That's what SEO is, search engine optimization, to get higher in the rankings on them different search engines, and that will happen naturally through putting good content out on your site over time once you're scaling it up. As for paid marketing, you have paying for platforms such as Facebook and Google for ads, and with Google it's pay per click, and with Facebook it's pay per view. Basically that means that with Facebook, you're paying to just show it to the audience. It doesn't matter if they click on it or not. You have to make good ads to make people want to click, but you're just paying for it to be shown. Whereas Google, you're paying for it to be clicked, so you'll only have to pay once it gets clicked. On both platforms, you still have to make good ads. In terms of Facebook, it's going to be image and video, and with Google, it's going to be all about the text and the content that you've got on there. It's important to understand that there is factors determining which one you'll want to pick, organic or paid, and these come down to time and money are key factors. The time commitment for organic can be huge. I mean, there's constant new content ideas, new videos being made, updates, creating them, uploading them every day. It's a very much like a hamster wheel where you get in there and you just have to keep going to get them sales. Now you could have a video that could do really viral and do well for a week and get you loads of sales, and then if you're not posting and not making that new possibly viral content, then you're not going to get any sales in. So it's constantly making that new content. As for the paid, you have to make that initial content creation and also keep doing it if you're wanting to scale up to huge heights. But if you make that content and then it's good ads, you can sort of make less frequent changes and upload less ads, but just scale the budget up using the platform. So going from a £20 budget to a £60 budget to a £200 budget per day, if it's profitable. And that means you can create that one piece of content that could last months. Last year in our store that done over £500,000, we had a piece of content that ran for around 8 months out of that year. Towards Q4 was spending around £1,500 per day on that one piece of content. So that shows with organic, you would have had to be constantly uploading and creating new content, whereas we found an ad that worked to a mass audience and we're able to scale that up with the budget. Take a little drink. So there is financial considerations to both as well. Organic is time intensive, but there is minimum upfront cost, and that's because you don't have to pay for advertising. It's all about the content that you make. If it can go viral, if it can get views on the platform, of, you know, the audience that is actually relevant for your product. And then if you can get them into your onto your profile, into your bio, click on your website, and then go and purchase on the website. As for the paid, it's again, it's pay for ad views. There's more immediate results with this. As you're putting money in, it's getting shown straight away. It's not going to sit on 100 views, 200 views on TikTok and Instagram Reels. It's going to get pushed to that audience straight away. And these ad platforms as well are very smart and can optimize very quickly, especially if you're giving them good ads, have a good website, and a good offer and a good product. This is our approach. So I'm going to cover our approach, and this is the approach that we done last year and are continuing to do this year. It's a focus on paid advertising right from the start. That is our method of what we do. Again, it depends on your time and how much money and budget that you have available. You can do both. For us, we just like to get them results straight away, test straight away, understand, you know, what ads work, get feedback from the comments about the product, and just get everything quicker. That's our main thing with paid, and then we're able to scale up, obviously, just by making good ads, reaching different audience pockets with different creatives and things like that. And with organic marketing, we don't do that initially, but, you know, later on down the line, we think about sort of Facebook community groups, posting on Facebook, posting on Instagram, and getting the organic stuff going too. Let's move on. So TikTok organic marketing tips. Now, there is a few of you guys that will go down the TikTok organic route, which is setting up a TikTok page, making content, having your link in bio, and getting sales that way. Here's a few tips that we've had from people in our Discord community that have done really good sales on TikTok. Shout out to Owen. He's done really well with a product, and this is some tips that we got off him. High quality videos with good lighting and background is very important. It's very important that your product is clear and that the lighting is actually good. Learn the basics of editing polished content. Basically, use platforms like CapCut, Premiere Pro, Sony Vegas. CapCut works fine. Mobile, it's free, to make high quality content. Make sure the cuts are good. Make sure there's captions. Make sure the clips are relevant. And you know, get better at that process. Watching videos, tutorials, looking at other people, how they're doing ads, all that good stuff. Consider the wow factor and relevance of content to the product. So every product's going to have some form of wow factor to that audience in one way. Whether it solves the problem, it's just a cool product in general. And you want to make sure that your content, that comes across in your content. Maybe in the first 3 seconds for the hook. The hook is the first 3 seconds of the video. Or maybe it's later on in the video. Just making sure we're still going all good. So yeah, that's sort of some tips on the TikTok organic side. Again, you'll learn as you go. It's a thing of taking action and getting in there, getting your product, whether it's getting content online or getting the product in yourself. Okay, so our methodology overview is low cost, high control approach to ad creation. What does this mean? When we're starting out, we record the content ourselves through using family members, myself, my friends, anything that gives us a low cost but high control approach, which means we make the scripts, we shoot the content, we edit the content, we do everything ourselves, learn, you know, what ads actually work best, and we can get it out for really low cost, and the returns on that can be huge if you make good ads. Utilize competitor analysis for effective creatives. You can use the Facebook ad library. So search up Facebook ad library on Google. You can search for key terms. So say you're selling a slipper, you can search up slipper in the Facebook ad library. It'll give you loads of ads that mention slipper in it in terms of the ad copy, and you can analyze why them ads are good, and pardon me, and take some inspiration from them. And again, Facebook ad library, search it up in Google, get scrolling down and look for ads that have been running for a long time. As ads that have been running for a long time are profitable, you can actually set filters on the Facebook ad library to make sure that you're only seeing ads that have been active for more than a month. I'd recommend doing this. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden. I wasn't before the video. So ad creation options. There's a few options to make your ads. Dropshipping ads agencies, Fiverr gigs, or creating the content yourself. Again, each one will depend on your time and your budget. Dropshipping ads agencies will cost a lot. Fiverr gigs will cost a good amount, but could be really good long term for having loads of different pieces of content and creating the content yourself. You also want to emphasize, well, I want to emphasize the importance of maintaining control over ad creation. Basically, you want to create the scripts yourself. You want to tell them what content you want. You want to either record it yourself or get someone on Fiverr to record it. You want to have control over the way the ads are made, because ultimately you should be the one that knows the product the most. Do your research on the product, understand why customers want it, and make the ads for that. Do your competitor research and then design your ads. That is the advice that I would give, and the advice that I still carry forward this year with our stores, especially after a really good Q4 last year. You know, we done over £200,000 in sales in Q4 alone, and it was this focus on ads, creatives, and maintaining control over this whole process. There we go. Can we get a cough counter going here? Platforms for advertising. So you have Facebook and TikTok, and these are the primary choices. Under Facebook is also Instagram. You do that within the Facebook platform. And again, these are paid advertising methods too. With Facebook and TikTok, you can do paid ads on TikTok as well. I just talk about Facebook because that's what we use the most. And again, I'll go in, I think, in this and sort of talk about both. Yeah, right here. Facebook offers longevity while TikTok provides quicker initial sales. So what we found is that with TikTok, you can get sales quicker in terms of you put an ad, you can get a sale, within that first day, a few sales, be profitable. Performance seems to fall off a cliff really quickly in terms of like a few days, even a week. Facebook, as I've said before, we've seen ads that have been running for months and weeks. If you make a good ad, have a good offer, have a good product, you can run that for months. With TikTok, I just don't see the same sort of consistency, and I do hear that sort of same theme through people in the space as well. So we have ad inspiration. You want to analyze your competitor ads for inspiration, and basically again this means using the Facebook ad library, going in there, searching for key terms, and looking for ads that you can get inspiration from, recreate yourself, even possibly copy, not in terms of using their clips, but in terms of creating your own clips or gathering clips from online. And then there could also be a focus on long-running ads for proven success. And basically what this means is making ads that appeal to the biggest audience possible, which means that it allows you to scale much higher. So instead of making ads that are for this like narrow audience group, making ads that can appeal to a huge audience. If you make a good ad, that's where you can scale, if you go really niche and really into your little sub pockets of your customers in terms of your advertising, there's only going to be a certain limit before you hit the ceiling with that sort of customer pocket or customer group, whereas you want to make ones that appeal to even the whole country. And if you make a good ad, again, you can scale up. That's a bit of advice I would say, especially after spending over probably around £40,000 on one ad last year, so that's what I would say. As for structuring and planning the ads, there is a huge emphasis that we have on user-generated content. This is still huge with Facebook and TikTok ads. It's beginning to become a bit more common among all advertisers. Doesn't mean that it's exactly, you need to do user-generated content or you don't. There's different styles you can do. You can even do image ads and things like that. But user-generated content is definitely the way that you can get across your product to a mass audience through a perspective that doesn't come across too salesy. There's something that I've been invested in recently, which is creating ugly ads, which may sound a bit weird. If you search up Barry Hott on Twitter, he's huge into ugly ads, making ads that are, the type of ads that you would see on TikTok, but still have that sort of selling. They're still selling the product. They're still converting as well, while not having that sort of flash in front of that customer's face like this is an ad. It doesn't look like an ad, but it still has the same effect that a really clear ad would have, but it's just not as obvious. Again, check him out on Twitter. And also the importance of hooks for capturing attention. So we see a huge correlation between the hook rate, so it's the percentage of people that watch after the first 3 seconds, and the actual overall performance of that ad in terms of return on ad spend or purchases. And basically focus on getting that hook rate good, but also make sure that hook rate is relevant. We see around 20 to 30% is a good hook rate for us. Anything more, is great. But again, you could have a 50% hook rate, but if it's not relevant, and if it's say like a car crashing into a wall, and you're selling some sort of teddy, like stuffed teddy, then there's going to be no correlation there at all. So your hook, especially on the Facebook and Instagram paid ads, really sort of targets who your customer is. So that's how you can do it through the hook. So that's really it for for this training. I mean, there is a lot more to cover, and there will be a lot more that you will receive in terms of information value to help you along this process. Again, check out my TikTok at Jack Ray Ventures. Check out my business partner at Kieran Mack. We go over a lot more details here in terms of strategy, in terms of the strategies we've used, especially last year, this year. Check them out. That's all free. There's loads of free information, guys, here as well. If you're wanting to buy any sort of course content, it just means that it's all in sort of one spot for you, which can be really nice as well, and something that I've definitely done in the past. So yeah, marketing is essential for your business growth. Choose your strategy of organic or paid that align with your budget and goals. By goals, basically that means, yeah, your budget and sort of, do you have the time for it, in terms of, you know, the organic, the hustle side of things, and then your goals, you know, how much you actually want to scale this. You know, if you're wanting to scale long term, paid ads is probably the way to go. If you're wanting a quick bit of change, organic could be the way.